Get ready for The Splash, live! Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash, live!
Hello and welcome to The Splash on this Thursday morning, Friday Eve. I'm Erica Jones. Thanks for being with us. The Splash is West Bloomfield Civic Center TV and Greater West Bloomfield's very own daily TV streaming show. You can watch live Monday to Friday from 9:30 to 10 a.m. on Civic Center TV, Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99, on the web at civiccentertv.com, on Civic Center TV's Facebook app, and listen live on 89.3 Lakes FM. The Splash is part of Civic Center TV and Lakes FM's 150 minutes of live local programming. Cool but beautiful start to this morning. Temperatures in the mid-80s with lots of sun. Expect the sun to stay out all day with temperatures rising a little bit, but not too much, for a high of 75 degrees this afternoon. Look for it to heat up tomorrow with a high of 80 degrees and sun heading into this weekend. And later this weekend, temperatures in the mid-70s with a chance for rain. Sydney Hendricks, West Bloomfield High School senior, is making headlines. She is on the women's basketball team with college bids pouring in. The 5'11" forward led the Lakers to their first state title, defeating Heartland 51-42 in the Division I final in March. The Oakland Press reports Hendricks is coming off an ankle injury that limited her play with Michigan crossover earlier this summer. But that has not stopped the college offers. Hendricks enters her senior year with bids from University of Illinois Chicago, Florida A&M, Alabama A&M, Texas Southern, Western Michigan, Central Michigan, and many more. Football Frenzy Division I preseason high school football rankings are out, and our West Bloomfield Lakers are number 2 right after Belleville. The first week of MHSAA football practice is over halfway in, and the Lakers are out on the field to prepare for their first matchup on August 25th against Sterling Heights Stevenson. Stevenson took to Twitter yesterday to also announce this big matchup, and they are ready to take on the West Bloomfield Lakers. We're 4 days into practice, well, 3 days in. Today is day 4, and we will be out there all season to cover all things Laker football as our guys look to head to the state finals this year after winning a title in 2020, which was actually in 21 because of the COVID season. But West Bloomfield is not the only team getting ready to compete this season. The OAA Red Division is stacked with competition and talented players. Tyler Keefe checked in with Brady Prescorn, the 6'6" Rochester Adams tight end, to talk about his upcoming season.
I'm Tyler Keefe alongside Brady Prescorn, tight end from Rochester Adams High School. Brady, coming off a season last year where your team was the runner-up in the state championship, you're returning many of the starters, a lot of those key skill players. What's the discussion in the locker room between the leadership of this team in terms of what needs to happen to get you guys back to that level and cross over that hump and win a state title?
Just compete, practice every day, leadership, chemistry. That's how we got to the state championship last year. Just keep pushing, keep doing our thing.
In terms of playing in a league like the OAA, there's so much competition, there's so many contenders, and now moving up into the OAA Red and playing even more of those, how important does that then make that work even more in this situation to play this kind of competition?
It's very important. We need to play the best players in the state, from West Bloomfield to Clarkson, Dellen, It's just important so we can get better. Iron sharpens iron, so that's it.
In terms of coming up short in the state championship game against Belleville last year, they're a year after year contender. They played you hard. You guys played them hard. It was your only loss on the season. What message do you have for the young guys on your team coming up to the varsity squad this year about the work that they got to put in with the veterans to win the title?
They just got to, they're on the sideline watching the seniors, how much hard work they put in. They just got to repeat it, copy, take notes, and it motivated us from the Belleville loss. We got to get back at it and go back to the state championship.
Brady, you're a great team guy. You're also one of those guys on your team that's getting a lot of attention at the college ranks. For you this year, what are some of your personal goals in terms of your development as a player?
As a team, like as me and the team overall, I just want to compete and just do the best I can, be humble and just, win.
Brady, appreciate it. Brady Prescorn from Rochester Adams High School. I'm Tyler Kieft.
Thanks, Tyler. High school football is a very special time of year for every team. But for one team in the OAA Red, it means a little bit more this year. The Oxford Wildcats lost one of their key players, Tate Meir, to the Oxford shooting. The then 16-year-old running back and linebacker has a great impact on his team and community. Michigan State University names Meir an honorary member of their 2023 recruiting class. And the University of Michigan wore patches with his number 42 to honor him and the other victims in their Big Ten championship game. I spoke with head coach of Oxford football, Zach Line, at OAA Media Day to hear what it meant to his program to be honored in such ways.
I think having your town be recognized at a national level, especially in the Big Ten championship game, was something special to them, and it had the 4 hearts on it, so it wasn't just Tate. It was representing all the 4 victims, and then also the O representing the entire school, because really all of them went through the same thing. So I'm proud of this group. I said it earlier. I mean, they've built a foundation of love for each other, and with the culture like that, you can trust it to go through pretty much anything.
Definitely. And Tate being not only a key player on the field, but also an honor student, what type of impact as a leader do you think he left on this program moving into future seasons?
I think he set the bar. And because Tate's gone, the things that he showed us and he exemplified every day don't leave. So those are being carried now by his teammates, his brothers, the guys that were in his class with him that probably didn't need to be a leader back in the day because Tate took that role, and that's kind of where they step in now. So, Tate's legacy lives further with 42 Strong, a peer-to-peer mentorship group that started in Oxford, and there's a memorial scholarship. So there's a lasting legacy for a guy that only had 16 years on Earth. He did a lot.
And this is now your 3rd year as head coach of the Oxford Wildcats team. And last year your team had some pretty close games. You guys were playing good football. So how do you plan to build on that and be a contender this coming year in such a competitive division like the OAA Red?
Yeah, no, it's definitely competitive, and our non-league games are Romeo and Chippewa Valley, so it doesn't get much easier when we go off of our in-league games. So, I mean, to me, when we first took over here, it was a total transition from offensive scheme to a new offensive scheme, a new defensive scheme, new style of coaching. Took some getting used to, and this will be I feel like my first senior class that I've had through, right? So. These guys, they just got to continue to work week by week. We see each week as just a unit. It's just one game. So that's kind of hyped to see it in the OAA Red, as every game is the next hardest game. So we practice that way. We know the next practice is the most important practice, and we'll just continue to get better and better. We would know we won't have everything firing on all cylinders probably by week 1. There's just not enough time, but we know we'll have it going in time to make some noise this year.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'll be joined by Tracy Abbo, Director of Nursing at Open Arms Hospice. Thanks for staying with us.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
It's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water, and so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm Erica Jones. Thank you for staying with us. I'm now joined by Tracy Abbo, Director of Nursing at Open Arms Hospice. Tracy, thank you for being with us this morning. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, looking forward to chatting with you. So let's start off with, might sound silly, but for those who don't know, maybe younger people watching our program, what exactly is hospice care?
So hospice care is basically palliative care when someone's approaching end of life. So when a patient or family decides that, curative measures just aren't working and want to focus more on comfort and being at home and having symptoms managed at home for the rest of their days, that's where hospice care comes into play.
Now, with that, are there ever times that people will get out of hospice care, or is it always at the very end of life?
No, actually, we kind of sometimes see that a lot of patients, not a lot, but some do better once they're admitted to hospice. And we have what we call graduated some patients in the past where, maybe they were having a rapid decline in health, but with effective symptom management from experts in the field, things sort of improved, got better, and they no longer met eligibility for hospice. They would then graduate from the program. Medicare sets guidelines for certain diagnoses in order for someone to elect the hospice benefit. So if a patient ever comes to a point where they don't meet those requirements, then we do have to graduate or discharge them from the program.
And is that only specifically with Medicare? I know you talk about eligibility, but what are some other specific eligibility requirements that people need to meet in order to be in hospice care?
The number one is that a physician has to basically state that life expectancy is 6 months or less. If we were to let the disease process that the patient was facing run its normal natural course. And then it breaks it down even further. So even though other insurance companies pay for hospice, they kind of all go by these same standards per se. Like for somebody with cancer, they, can't be getting chemotherapy and radiation anymore. And all these, different things that they have to meet. It's the same throughout all different types of insurances.
Yeah. Now, other than the condition, yes.
Life expectancy is true. Like that's the number one thing.
Other than the conditions that the patient is in, what is the difference in care once you're in hospice rather than being in a regular hospital conditions before hospice is declared, as far as just how the patient's treated?
Yeah, so hospice comes in wherever the patient lives. So we take care of people in private homes, we take care of them in assisted living facilities, adult foster care homes, long-term care centers, memory care. And hospice is a team approach. So the patient receives oversight from the medical director, who's an expert in the field of, hospice, end of life, managing those symptoms and things that happen at end of life. They get a nurse who acts as a case manager that oversees their care, coordinates all of their care. They will have a home health aide that visits them routinely throughout the week to help with activities of daily living. We have a social worker on staff that can help with end of life planning, advanced directives, any other legal issues associated with that. And then we have a spiritual care provider that would go into the home and, provide any spiritual support that the patient and family needs. And we have a volunteer program where sometimes it's just a little bit lonely and such, being at home and not being able to get out anymore. And we have trained volunteers that can go in and do different types of engagement activities with patients and families. And then we have a bereavement program. So one of the standards that are set is that after a patient passes away, our agency needs to continue to follow the family for up to 13 months after the death, just to make sure that they feel supported and they're grieving appropriately, and help them work through any of those issues that they might have that are unresolved following their loved one's death. So basically the differences are we meet the patient wherever they're at, wherever home is, and all the care is brought to them as opposed to having to go out for appointments and, back and forth to the hospital and that sort of thing. It's just done right there where they live.
Is hospice exclusively at the patient's home? What if someone doesn't necessarily have the conditions that would be appropriate for them?
Then we would be working with our social work team to try to find appropriate placement for them. Because certainly as someone approaches end of life, they need someone present for them 24/7. And there's been a few instances where, there might not be a lot of family left or, family support, and they need around the clock care. And that's something that social work would help with, as well as finding, a safe and appropriate place for them.
I want to talk to you specifically about Open Arms Hospice care, but before that and transitioning into that, you talk about the families and the patient, and I think that's really important because there's no doubt that families are so heavily impacted by this as well. How much emphasis is put on the families along with the patient in hospice care, specifically with Open Arms?
Oh, it's a package deal for us. One thing that sets Open Arms, I think, apart from other hospices is that we are a smaller hospice agency. So our caseloads are a lot smaller, and that enables our team to spend a lot more time with the patient and families. And, a strong bond is formed, and we spend a lot of time just making sure that they're adequately prepared to care for that loved one at home through, all the way through the end. We always say we want to start on day one to have a really great solid plan for the patient and family all the way through our last day with them. And sometimes we even go beyond 13 months. We hear from family members, that we've had a couple of years ago at times, just because of the relationships that are formed. So we just really want to set them up for success so that they truly have a wonderful experience, because they're facing something horrible, but in light of that, providing someone the gift of hospice to live out their last days as quality days with the people they love in the place that they're comfortable is such a gift. And we want them to feel like they're providing a gift and not feel burdened. And we want to give them all the support that they need.
Yeah, that's very, very special. Aside from the size of the agency, what exactly makes Open Arms Hospice different from any other hospice care agency?
Oh, there's so much. One thing that's kind of neat about our team is that we have all come together from a relationship with someone else who's already on the team. So we're also like one big family. And that I think works so well because we all want to go to bat for each other. So if someone can't get to a patient quickly, someone else is jumping in to do it to make sure the need is met. We don't really advertise like on Indeed and all of that for our employees because of the connections that we have. And there's so much experience with our team members that, if we are expanding and need another nurse, then one of our current nurses is like, I have the perfect person. So that's a wonderful component of our team. We also have our volunteer program is a little bit different than some other programs out there. We really tailor our engagement activities with patients specifically to them. For instance, we have a late stage Alzheimer's patient who has a baby doll, and this is her baby. So we developed a packet that had baby clothes and diapers and things like that, where the volunteer could go out and interact with her in a meaningful way. So we're always looking for ways to develop our program further that just makes it more meaningful. because we want that experience to be so wonderful for the patients and families. We're also getting ready to have our first remembrance ceremony coming up in September, where we're inviting all the families of all of our past patients to come and just celebrate life with us and, to just reminisce about all the lives that we've touched since the company started.
Tracy, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We really appreciate having you and getting to talk about some of the positives. I think a lot of people, when you think of hospice, think very negatively, but I really appreciate you touching on celebrating life and getting to share that with families. I think that's really special.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you. Have a great rest of your day, and we hope to talk with you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
We're going to take a quick break on The Splash, and when we come back, I'll be joined with Kelly Hyer, the Recreation Superintendent at WB Parks.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
It's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water. And so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Erica Jones, and joining me now is Kelly Hyer, Recreation Superintendent from WB Parks. Good morning, Kelly. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning, Erica. Thanks for having me.
Of course. You can't really see it anymore, but I love the WB Parks shirt you have on. So spirited, so cute. So I can't believe it, but just a few more weeks until the Lily Pad Springs closes on September 5th. So what have been the biggest takeaways from Lily Pad Springs this summer?
Well, the second year went really, really well. We have had awesome weather for a spray park this summer. So the takeaways would be, we included some twilight hours this year. That was an extra session we added at nighttime. We also did some private party rentals, as well as Monday sensory-friendly 11 o'clock sessions. So again, for year two, it was really great because we took our ideas from year one, implemented them. So again, if you have feedback, those of us listening today, please reach out to us. Tell us what you want to see in year three.
Yeah, you mentioned private parties, and that's something I haven't heard about yet. So let's talk a little bit more about that. How can someone rent out space for a private party? Because I know you have sessions booked out pretty much all day, every day. So how does that process work, and when's the availability?
Sure. Well, we are all sold out of all of our private party sessions this summer. So next year, I think we're going to bring that back. So take a look at our website, probably the updates around March, April of next year. And what it is you could have up to 100 people and have the water on for 1 hour, and for a fee, of course, because some people want to be able to have a birthday celebration or a larger group that they wanted to come out and celebrate a function or a special occasion.
Yeah, that's fantastic. 100 people is really, really a nice amount that lets you have even bigger events. When I think of a children's birthday party or something like that, there's so many times that you're limited to, 10, 15 people. So it's really nice, especially with younger kids. I'm sure that brings opportunity for families to come out as well, which I think is fantastic. So Saturday, August 27th, more summer events. We have the Pollinator Fest. This is a new free event. Talk to me a little bit about it.
Sure. So this is an idea that came from staff. One of our big pillars that we stand on is nature education, of course. And pollinators is a buzzword going on right now. And we want to bring more information to the general public and to our residents. Our residents really embrace native plants. They want to learn about pollinators. How can they be more green and have a eco-friendly yard? How can they celebrate and embrace more conservation and preservation? So we're bringing that to the residents in a festival style. So we have a really cool lineup of vendors. It'll be learning, it'll be fun, and it's free. So come on out. Please arrive between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. And the festival does conclude at noon. And this is year one. So we think that we have a really cool experience for everyone planned. And we're looking forward to any age. And you will be wowed. Of course, our highlighting presenter and partner is Bees in the D.
Great, we look forward to that event. And I went a little bit out of order here, but 2 days before that, on August 25th, in the Civic Center parking lot, we have the block party. So what's the block party and how can people get involved?
Oh, sure. So this is an idea that came last year, and we wanted just to have a good old-fashioned block party. So instead of in your neighborhood, you do need to come to the Civic Center campus, and we ask everyone to pre-register. It's $5 per person if you live in West Bloomfield Township, and otherwise it's a $2 additional fee for non-resident. But we're going to have live music and vendors and food trucks, and it's a great time just to come, relax, and it's a smaller kind of space, not spread out in a large park, and so that you can plan to meet up with your friends and your neighbors. The library is another partner for this event. They'll have a booth, an activity booth there, and it's high activity, high energy type of events. So please take a look and pre-register. Come on out. We'd love to have you. It's from 5 to 7 in the Civic Center campus on the Thursday, the 25th.
Well, you can bet that we'll be out there covering the event. Looking forward to that. And also exciting news, registration is now open for events in the fall. Why don't we highlight a few events that people have to look forward to?
Sure. So yes, check your mailboxes in the next couple of weeks. They are on a tiny, tiny delay, but the fall brochure is online. It's live. So go to wbparks.org. It's right on our homepage. Click it, and you can flip through on a flippable magazine right online, and registration has opened. So in addition to our normal things that we bring back that are popular, such as trick-or-treat trail, our pickleball courses, we've got some new things that we're bringing to West Bloomfield, and one of them is a heroes hike. So you know our naturalists love to put on a great hike. Well, now, in addition to our normal hiking series that we offer, you can hike with a hero. So West Bloomfield Fire Department and police departments will be partnering with us on this series. We also have a whole bunch of new art classes if you're looking for that. We've got a new after hours nature program, Animals in After Dark, that's highlighted in there. And we have one more thing. Oh, some holiday themed things. So again, check it out. We try to change up things from year to year, but we are partnering with a few more newer contractors than you would normally see. So lots of new, fresh ideas in the fall guide.
Kelly, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much we appreciate the partnership with WB Parks, and we look forward to getting out to these events ourselves to cover them, as we always love to do. So thank you so much. Have a great, it's Thursday now, so weekend, and we will talk to you soon.
Awesome, Erica, and we'll see you at the Black Party.
You sure will. Then joined by Kelly Hyer, Recreation Superintendent at WB Parks. Always great to chat with her. And that's going to do it for this Thursday's edition of The Splash. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30. I'm Erica Jones. Have a great day.